COVID is beating me up. Man, I was just extremely emotional that last episode. But here we are. Right, I'm just gonna jump right into this. Let's see what the hell Eren's about to do. Ooh. That family should have ran away. I don't know why they didn't run away. Man, Grecia's kind of weak. Wow.
食われるところを見てないぞ。お前が父さんを壁の王や世界と戦うように始祖の巨人を奪っても自分がその力を使えないことを知っていたから。しかし始祖を奪いそれをお前に託した。
It was Eren. It was Eren all along. Oh, when he kissed Historia's hand.
父親の記憶からどんな未来の景色を見たか知らよくなままだ。物にもできない。
Oh, come on. I don't even want to see the intro. I just want to get into this. It's scary how we've been rooting for Eren all this time, even like when he was a child. Just knowing like that this was who he was this whole time. It feels kind of horrible. It's a lie. Just be who you want to be, girl. Ymir. You mean someone that gets controlled and doesn't have a mind of her own? Oh, they're gonna show her story. It's interesting how everyone's eyes are shaded. Like, you can't see their eyes. Whoa, it looks like samurai coming with their armor. But they're not samurai. I mean, they're a mixture of Vikings and like samurai, which is interesting. And they're pointing at Ymir, of course, the scapegoat. The little girl did it. Aww. She's gonna say, yeah. Interesting, because this is just like when Ymir was the scapegoat too. Oh, baby girl. Blood on the flowers. This tree. Have we seen this tree before? In like the side episodes? That's a huge tree. Whoa. Ooh. So, but what was that just waiting in that tree? No, thank you. Okay, so now this is where we see the beginnings of the atrocities that the Eldians have carried out against humanity. I see. Wow, so Historia is living Ymir's life. And weird that she would be best friends and like in love with someone named Ymir. Though they look like Romans. Another baby. So she's had 3 children. What a way to live. God, just horrible. She's only known suffering. So you let the man talk, but she's the one who's been destroying everybody. Oh. I mean, she really didn't know any better. Did she? And then she was just... They ate her! Right! Oh! He made the 3 daughters eat her. Maria, Rose, and Sina. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm getting chills. Is this how the coordinate was created? But it's just sad that she would just be stuck in this hell. She had no, like, chance. So then she creates the Titan. Wow. I mean, he's right. No, baby, Zeke, see, that's the problem. He's giving her a chance to choose. You're commanding her just like everybody else did. To be free, yeah. Zeke, this is where you fail. Now we see her eyes. See, this thing, this spine thing. Oh, so she connects it because she's like, okay, he's the answer. He's gonna end this. And the walls are cracking open. Sorry, Peek, you're probably dead. Like, there's nothing we can do about this. I'm just gonna sit back because I don't know. Wow. So there always were the Titans in the walls, like that was the true thing. And there Eren is. Oh, Reiner's so good. He's the origin of Titans. I'm gonna have to. It's like a it does look like a parasite. I was gonna say that. Wow. Yeah, I mean, what the hell do you say? Wow. It's like spinal. Spiny. I don't know if he's your ally, because it sounds like he wants to end everything. Zeke's done. Because it's gonna end everything. Oh. Okay, tell us what's happening. Yeah, his point was to kill everybody. See, so his plan is very much better. Oh man, we're done. Wow. Let me... First and foremost, I don't agree with Eren's plan either. And I knew that was going to be the plan. That he just wants to kill everybody else and protect his people. But that's still not right. Zeke thinks they're the problem, so he wants to get rid of the Eldians. Everyone, it's like in reality, everyone has like a perspective of how to make the world better, and my perspective is better. No, mine is. Well, I think when you take away lives, that's when it's not good anymore. So Armin and Mikasa have to figure something out. Like, okay, so yeah, the plan was much more deep much more deeper than they thought. Everyone thinks that they know people, but you really don't know anybody. Everyone has their own perspective, their own reality, and their own way of what they think is right and wrong. So on a deep level, like, we all know this is good, stealing is wrong, killing is bad. Like, we all know that as a whole, but it doesn't change how there's still loopholes, because then we fund wars and we do these types of things that we say it's for the greater good, but you're killing innocent people. And so it's like we ignore, we don't want to look, we're blinded, like the people of Ymir, like Ymir and her people, everyone was like blinded and just listening, acting as they're being ladylike and just obeying and following commands and not living their own lives. And it so happened that Ymir stumbles upon this parasitic thing. Let me go back actually and read what that was. Oh man, this whole episode though, the Rose, Cena, and Maria, and those being all the walls. And we saw this in like the outro. I don't remember which season, but we saw these outros. Look, so I went back here. He's made these girls eat their mother. And then like you could see this old lady is covering her eyes, which she should be. That's disgusting. Goes to show Ymir, she was a slave almost all her life, pretty much. So she never had a choice to be her own woman, to be her own human, to make her own decisions, which is why she gave her life to protect the king, because he's the only one that gave her any type of choice. Maybe that's what she felt. Then she ends up in this hell. I call this hell because all she does is form titans. For 2,000 years she's been doing this. So it's like her life has never been happy. It's never been her own. It's quite disturbing. I'm trying to see where the parasitic thing. I can't find the description card. I'll have to look back and see. But yeah, so this thing, it's like some parasite that was just living in this tree. It's like this tree of life, pretty much. And she so happens to fall into it and get this Titan power, which is in a way pretty awesome. But then she still doesn't use, for some reason, she's literally at this point the most powerful person in the world. She can make any decision she wants. But that's the mentality of having this mentality of not believing in yourself. She's a slave. She didn't know that she could use this power to defeat the king and to change the world. So we could all be mad at her and be like, why didn't she do that? But the thing is, if you don't understand how the mind works and you don't understand how trauma, and if you only lived one way, it's not so simple to change your mind. It's extremely difficult, actually. But it's very interesting to see that she works for the people who try to kill her in the first place. And she ends up fighting all these wars and the Eldians are then on top. And these are the atrocities again that they've created, that the reason why Marley is mad and the reason why all these other nations are mad and afraid of Titans and Eldians is because of what Ymir did under the king's rule. So it's just interesting that in the last thing she did was give her life to the king who didn't even care about her. And then she ends up going to hell. It's just an interesting perspective. Seeing everybody, seeing the daughters eat her, and like they didn't even care. They just said, let's hurry up and get her on the grill. Like she wasn't dead for much, like that long. They're like, I can't lose this power. You guys got to do this. And so it then turned into what it turned into. Eren was the only one in her life, in the 2,000 years that she's been alive, that told her, you have a choice. you can make a choice. And finally, when she heard that, her eyes are then unclouded. They're not covered. She's crying, she's letting go, and she's angry because clearly she's been used and abused, and she's made her own decisions that, it's kind of hard to really blame her. But I'm sure the feeling of frustration is there, and she is agreeing, end this. This needs to end. Now, this is where it comes into my thoughts with Falco, because they haven't shown him yet after Galliard was eaten. He's got to stop everything. This specific Titan, which I believe is going to be a bird Titan. He's going to fly. He's going to have wings. There's something about it. They keep showing this golden hawk, this golden bird at the end of the outro. He is a child, and what Onyan Capone said, the children are the future. And because I disagree with where Eren is going. I get it, I don't agree with it. I can see his perspective, I don't agree with it. I can see Zeke's perspective, I don't agree with it. But I don't blame Ymir for giving him this power, because she was like, that's all she needed to hear. I have a choice in this. And it's just crazy how Historia is literally reliving this life, and like the whole, like, you need to have babies and create more Eldians. And so at the end it feels like Eren does have to die if he can't just change. If he can't, I don't know, people would probably say he's too far gone. I'm always that person that's like holding on to any type of hope that someone can change, because that's just humanity. It's not an easy thing, but humans can change. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of support, and a lot of people, especially in the time frames. If we want to reflect it back to real life, nobody has time. Everyone is trying to work, because they're trying to make food, have food on the table for themselves and their families, and no one has enough time to just sit back and think about who they are, what they want, what the hell's going on. And the same thing for this show. It's the same situation. People need to sit back. Like, Armin's like, wait, what? This is good. This is great. Eren won. It's like Eren is on his own side. Eren is not on anyone else's side. He's always been an individual thinker, but there's something very important about Mikasa and Armin. The owl would not have mentioned their names if they weren't important. And like, even when they show, like, in Grisha's memories, like, Eren, after Eren murdered all those people who were trying to kill Mikasa, like, he was like cold-blooded. He's like, I've always been like this. But when he talks to Mikasa, he's blushing. And so it's like they do bring this human side out of Eren that no one else really could. So I have hope for that. I have hope for Falco. And I even have hope for Gabby. And potentially, I don't know why Reiner would give his life to be eaten by Gabby, but potentially Gabby might take him on. I don't know. I feel like Reiner should live, because he's a good person. He can help teach and kind of create a good path for people. I think Gabby isn't exactly ready, but Falco is one of those characters who is always he's a self-sacrificing person. He's always shown that, and children are they're definitely more innocent in that, like, the world hasn't caused them to be so jaded and bitter, because when you get older, that's what happens. So there is hope, and Falco may be able to change the rumbling, but I don't know, like, how do you stop once this goes? It seems like once the rumbling starts, it cannot be stopped. But I just don't see how this ends like this, especially if this is just the 5th episode of the season. Like, I don't know if it's going up to 12 or to 24. I'm not sure. But this is what I was waiting for. I wasn't into this, like the fighting and the shooting. We've seen it all before. We know that that's happening. This is the meat. This is what I've been waiting for. And it's very interesting and it's very intriguing, and the history of the Eldians and how they started. And again, I see everyone's perspective, but things don't always have to be this way or that way. Why don't we just come together? There could be a balance and just talk, really understand each other. And I know it's like, oh, that won't ever happen. But why not? We have a lot more in common with each other than we think. I mean, and they have, it's like they can just talk and really figure this out. But maybe it's tough. Maybe it's too late. Maybe there's too much. Maybe the rumbling will bring people together in a way. Like Yelena is shook by this. Onyan Kopon, everyone is like, what's going on? So it's interesting. I'm very excited to see the rest of this season play out. Thanks so much for watching.